Following the NCAA National Clinic, 350 umpires gathered in Baltimore, Maryland the next day for the third annual Collegiate Officials Group Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Officials Annual Meeting. The morning began emphasizing conference identification with staff meetings to review policies, expectations, and convey relevant conference-specific information.
Praise head, home.
National anthem policies began the general session with umpires Lieutenant Colonel Jamison Braun and Sergeant Matt McMahon.
Yesterday was all about respect and integrity. This starts the game. This is where respect and integrity starts.
Yeah. So there will be no Kaepernicks in our association, right?
The coordinators, John Porter and Darren Seeley, were up next to deliver a consistent message and shared vision. The focus was on teamwork and leadership, with no doubt left as to the message. As a collective group, we need to be better.
You have to be a member of the crew to be part of this organization. You have to be one of the guys who, when trouble hits, you've got your partner's back. There is no, well, he's the crew chief. They don't care. All they see is 3 guys or 4 or 2 wearing black or light blue.
This is a question of teamwork. Now, the funny thing about this is we teach this. We teach it. We teach it on all of our 4-man crews, but we need to teach it here as a concept. What is the concept? It isn't a 4-man mechanic, it's how we help each other.
Another focus of the day was a continuation of the message emphasized at previous annual meetings. The strike zone must improve. Tasked with delivering the message was Division I NCAA Regional Advisor Bill McCallum and COG instructor Greg Walls.
Everyone in this room now lives in a world where we're working real baseball now. It's real baseball. And it's about time that we start to umpire real baseball in a real way. We need to call strikes by the definition.
Early in the year, don't put it off on the other guys. You guys take care of it right off the bat. Get those zones where they need to be, and I know the pitchers aren't ready, but they're also probably not going to try to go all game long. They're going to go for a few innings and move guys in and out. So just call it the way it's supposed to be.
Last year, there were too many missed calls at first base. COG lead instructor Chris Hubler and instructor Tom Honick reviewed from a mechanic and technical perspective.
Get set early in the process, your feet, things like that, so then you can make adjustments or whatever you have to do late in the process, all right?
The critical part of this play happens at 2.86 seconds. That's 0.3 seconds, that's 300 milliseconds.
COG rules interpreter Brian DeBrouwer, along with instructor Brian Miller, followed with rules interpretations and practical application on the field.
Do not walk onto a baseball field if you are not fully prepared to officiate all parts of that game. The only way to do it is by having a full understanding of the rules. That is your job. Don't let yesterday's rule presentation and this rule presentation be the only rule study you do for the year. If that's all you do, you're unprepared, all right? Prepare yourself by knowing the terminology, knowing the rules, getting your head in the rule book, and making sure that you take this job seriously, because guys, you can't hide anymore.
The idea that we need to back up our partners, but we can't step on his toes. Again, you can't substitute your judgment for your partners. So if they make a decision and you don't agree with it, the most you can do is initiate a crew consultation. Does that make sense to everyone? That's COG policy. I asked Darren that today.
Moments later, COG instructor Jim Clayton was honored with the Collegiate Officials Group Dedication and Service Award.
For those of you who know me, you know that I try to put myself on a higher plane almost in everything that I do. And do I succeed at that? No. Do I always do everything that I need to do? No. But that's what I attempt to do. And COG has afforded me the opportunity to be able to do 2 things that I really love. And that is be able to use the skills that I do in terms of my graphic design and web design, that type of thing, and then but also to be able to do baseball.
The coach-umpire relationship is one the NCAA is emphasizing. Toward this end, we called on Randolph-Macon College head coach Ray Hendrick to share his perspective.
You know, you coming in there with an ego, just like you don't like working with coaches with an ego, no matter how many games you've worked at the highest level possible. And that's what I always loved about Darren. You know, and maybe it's not fair because I've known Darren since I was, 14, 15 years old. But, he came from working pro ball, and he had all this, glitz and glamour and this experience, but he was just a regular guy.
The meeting concluded with our umpires hearing directly from new Division II National Coordinator Scott Taylor and Division III National Coordinator Don Umland.
It's not a perfect system. I don't know if any system's a perfect system, but this is the system in the hand that I've been dealt. And my goal is to lead. And I'm going to do my best over the next few years to lead by example and try to listen to what you guys have to say and do the best that I can.
If you're the guy that walks on a baseball field and sticks your chest out and says, "Don't challenge me, I know all of the answers and I am God out here," you are not going to make it. And there are some of you in this room, just like there were in the other 3 I've been in.